I'm going to keep this short because I've done this twice already, and the YouTube app on my phone has screwed it up twice. Because I'm recording from my phone. I don't have money for. Do you know what? Screw it. I'm going to get this done. I'm returning to my roots in game development a little bit. I'll give you the brief story of why. Basically, I am the CEO now of my own theatre company. Theatre companies are devilishly difficult to run and not that lucrative, so I need a sideline. Because I'm doing this full time, I don't have time to take on another job for income purposes, so I need to do something that I can do from home or from the office while I'm running the theatre company. And so I've decided to go back to doing game development and a bit of drawing and writing as well, from whatever I can do to make a little bit of money. And one of the big things I'm doing at the moment, and I want to talk about today, is I'm doing some more game development. Two really exciting projects that I'm working on are actually from my past as a game developer. The first I want to talk about is Final Orbit 2, which is obviously a sequel to Final Orbit, a game I released in 2015. So it's 4 years old now, which is exciting. I'm doing a second one, a sequel. So I'm so tired. It's 20 to 1 in the morning. I'm so tired. I've been working all day. Final Orbit 2 is a sequel to Final Orbit 1. The graphics are so much better. I've sort of simplified it, but made everything also more complicated. Like the Earth actually spins in 3D, despite being a 2D game. The original just sort of rotated, which was a big naff. The camera has a massive upgrade. It's now dynamic. It doesn't just fix to the Earth the whole time. If you've played the original Final Orbit, you'll know that. Well, you might not know. This is a bit of trivia. The satellite sprite is actually just the moon scaled down. In the new version, the satellite has its own sprite, and it actually looks like a satellite, which is pretty cool. I'm really proud of it so far. I want to get it out soon, like within the next few months or so. If I can get the final major build released, as in no more early access, if I can do that by September, that's the 4-year anniversary of Final Orbit, I'll be really happy. If you wanted to check that out on itch.io, I'll put a link in the description. And if you wanted to check out my new stuff on Game Jolt, I'll also stick it in the description, obviously, so you can go and see what it's all about. The original Final Orbit is £3. The new Final Orbit will actually be pay what you want, because I want people to play it, and I want them to do it for free. Not a whole lot of people have played the original Final Orbit, probably because it's not free, and people aren't a trusted, unheard of developer. But if you wanted to check out the original Final Orbit, I will probably bundle the original Final Orbit with Final Orbit 2, just so that you can get a feel of how far it's come along. The other project I want to talk about is actually one that comes from 2012. The original game's called Vop's Revenge, and a good friend of mine did a Let's Play video on it right back in 2012, and it's I just watched it. I've also uploaded it to the Game Jolt page just to see how far I've come along. Vop's Revenge was this little white dot that jumped around a black screen with an environment made out of white blocks. And you jumped around and you avoided saw blades, and that was pretty much the entire game. And because the final level of that demo was so devilishly difficult, I didn't program anything past that. I found out 4 years later, when someone finally completed it, that if you do complete it, the game just crashes, because there's nothing else for it. There's nothing next. I'm releasing, or I'm working on, a new version called Vop Saves the World. It's now made of colourful cubes. I'm going to show you actually on the Game Jolt page. That's the banner. You see the characters actually talk now, which obviously the characters didn't have much character in the original one because it was a single white blob. You can actually play a demo of the gameplay mechanics and stuff right in your browser, or you can download a Windows version. I'm working on other versions. obviously if you've got a Mac or a Ubuntu Linux machine, you can play in your browser, which is exciting. But I'm working on the executable download versions for Ubuntu and Mac. It's just a case of getting hold of an Ubuntu and a Mac system so I can actually compile for those systems and test for those systems. But other than that, that's where I am. Go and have a look at my Game Jolt stuff, and I'll put itch.io down in the bottom bit as well, the description, that's the one, so you can have a look at everything I've done and try not to judge me too hard. See you soon.